And good morning. Welcome to Your Vote Counts. Jon Echols, Majority Leader, Jason Dunnington, our longtime friend and colleague. And I've just got to start with education this morning. We've seen a lot of stories this last couple of weeks about Tulsa public schools and the little bit of friction, right, between the state and Tulsa. There was a story this week about a South Oklahoma City charter school, Santa Fe, that has a pathways, an alternative sort of education for college. Chad Warmington's been here talking about workforce. I know education figures in. Help us unpack what this all means.
Yeah, so Santa Fe South is a charter school on the south side. And look, what charter schools are supposed to do is try something different and see if it works. Santa Fe South Charter School has tried something and it's worked. What we should be celebrating is the fact that something worked, not so much the charter school. When charter schools do something that is good, usually what they do then is come to the legislature and say, we need more money so we can do more of this. What we should be looking at is letting public schools do the same thing. Because if a charter school is trying something that works, now let all of public schools try the same thing. If it's clearly working, then let's take the handcuffs off of all of public school, allow them to do the same thing and help all of our kids, not just the ones that are lucky enough to get into a charter school.
Okay, you were in the legislature at the time. There's been a bunch of money pumped into Common Ed in Oklahoma. The charter school, this one is very successful in this particular program. Your thoughts about where we're headed?
Well, very successful. Santa Fe South Pathways, that has a partnership with Oklahoma City Community College, has graduated 100% of its graduates that graduated with associate degrees. It's incredibly impressive. What viewers ought to know, though, is there's great things happening at OCCC, at Rose State, at Tulsa Community College. What you can do in these colleges, for example, in Tulsa Community College, if you go to the Tulsa Public Schools, you get 2 years tuition free. Same at OCCC, Oklahoma City Community College, 2 years tuition free. What this shows is innovation in education should work, and it's what I've been talking about this show. We're talking about outcomes, because education is about outcomes for children, not personalities, and we need to celebrate good outcomes. Every kid graduating with an associate degree, great outcome.
Okay, and we'll get back to that, I'm sure, in upcoming weeks. AP did a story this week that if you're a healthcare worker, you're in one of the most violent fields in America. This is insane. But my question is, what are we doing to protect healthcare workers in Oklahoma?
Here's what we've done. We've made it a felony in order to assault a healthcare worker inside the ER. This is one of the most violent and dangerous professions that you can be in. We talk about a lot on this show the need for nurses. We are positive we have a great understaffing of nurses in this state. The legislature has dropped quite a bit of money into it. OU had the largest nursing program they've had in their state. Tulsa Community College had the largest nursing program they've had in history. OCCC did the same thing. But we are nowhere near where we need to be. If you have a nurse in your family this morning, you know a nurse, hug him or her, tell them thank you. This is an incredibly difficult profession, and we need to be investing to kick out more in that profession.
All right, I'm the father of an RN, a young RN with a young family. I see a headline like this, I'm scared.
Yeah, well, I'm the brother of an RN. My older brother, Darren Dunnington, is a nurse over at the Heart Hospital, and he's done this for over 20 years and has seen just how much more difficult this profession has gotten. And we need to protect our healthcare workers. What I think this says a lot, though, is about our society in that we have gained a lot of mental health issues. A lot of the folks that are coming into our ERs are undiagnosed issues with mental health. And the first thing that they're doing is choosing to attack. I think what we need to do, obviously protect our healthcare workers, but we need to continue to invest in things that help us deal with this mental health crisis in the state of Oklahoma.
Okay, when we come back, we'll be talking about the campaign. Not the one in 24, the one in 23. Yeah, it's here. Be right back. And welcome back with Jason Dunnington and Jon Echols. And Mr. Leader, this is going to be interesting to a lot of folks. People are talking about the 24 elections. The 23 things are happening right now.
That's right. So right now, everybody's talking about what's going on with the presidential race, but you've got an election before that, and your top of the ticket is your corporation commissioner. Corporation commissioner regulates public utilities in the oil and gas industry. Former Secretary of State, former Pro Tem Brian Bingman, has left the governor's office and announced running with the governor's endorsement. But I'll tell you the guy I think we ought to be watching, and that is the current Pro Tem Greg Treat. He's made no announcement. I may be in the House. Pro Tem Greg Treat is a phenomenal individual, an incredibly good student of policy. There are rumors out there, By the way, I might point out, we called Commissioner Keith getting into the Tulsa mayor's race, and
You
that
got that
happened.
right.
I would watch. We may have a battle of pro tems, and there's a really talented one sitting in the Capitol right now that's term limited, may want to do something next.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you're running in 24, you got to start getting ready in 23 if you want to be serious, right?
Oh, 100%. It's already time to be in the race. I'm a little shocked that more people haven't gotten into this particular race. And look, for those of you at home that are like, what is a corporation commissioner? We have 3 of them in the state of Oklahoma. They serve a little bit longer term, 6 years, and they roll off every 2. So this will be an open seat for corporation commissioner. And as my colleague said, they regulate the utilities in the oil and gas industry. And for all of us that know that our energy bill continues to go up and we wonder for what reason, a lot of that comes over the corporation commissioner's desk. This is a very important seat. It is a full-time job for these folks that get elected into this position, but it's really important for all of our bottom line.
Yeah, it's a very tough job and a very important job, and it's not covered as much as other political offices. And speaking of political offices, people are wondering what happens in the fall of 23 legislatively because there's a lot on tap.
There's a lot on tap, but we talked last week on the show that we might be called in for another special session to deal with taxes. We've given our opinions on that. But what a lot of legislators are doing this fall is preparing for the next legislative session. December is when bill filing comes up, and so there'll be a lot of interim studies that take place where we're looking through policy on what might help our state. And then we'll have bill filing in December. It comes really early. January, they'll put language into it, and then we'll be off to the races in February. But don't forget, you're going to have quite a few presidential debates this fall, and we'll be taking a deeper dive, deeper look into what Republicans going to come out of the field for the presidential in 24.
Yeah, it'd be great to be inside, say, the majority leader, the floor leader's office to find out what's going to happen. Oh, by the way, he's here. Your thoughts about what's going on now in terms of 24 legislative session?
Well, if we're talking about the future, you're not going to have me not talk about the need for a strong tax cut, giving money back to the citizens, because strong fiscal policies in Oklahoma have led to record increases, and horrific federal policies had led toward horrific inflation. What's going on? What I think you'll see happening is hopefully Republicans on the state level are going to come together. There's absolutely still a little friction between the governor's office and the legislature, but at the end of the day, we fail or succeed together. What I think you'll see happen is serious interim studies, putting forth serious policies, and putting egos beside and doing what's right for the citizens of the state of Oklahoma.
I can't wait for the egos aside. That'll be a great one. Hey, thanks for watching Your Vote Counts. See this again on your website /Your Vote Counts. Follow me on Threads, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook @Mitchell Talks.